Welcome back to FomoMart, the only channel where we don't review products. We review your lack of life choices. Today we're diving into LEGO sets, so advanced they should come with a student loan and a support group. These aren't your nephew's 4-brick smiley faces. These are PhD-level puzzles disguised as toys. And if you've ever bragged about finishing a 1,000-piece puzzle, this video will expose you for the fraud you are. So buckle up, genius, or whatever the opposite of that is, and let's build something you'll never finish. You know what's adorable? Watching adults crumble under the Pokemon Motion Pikachu. Just 1,095 pieces of bright yellow humiliation. It even moves when you finish it, which is more than I can say for your career. $99 for the privilege of realizing a cartoon mouse has more mechanical range than you do. Build it right and it waves. Build it wrong and it just mocks you in silence. Use it as a desk toy or teach it to judge you while you procrastinate on real work. And speaking of motion, there's the Technic F1 RS20 racing car. 1,600 plus pieces of, I could have been an engineer, but instead I watched tutorials on how to fold socks. It's $79, which sounds cheap until you realize it's just a really expensive way to find out you can't read diagrams. Perfect for people who talk about the grind, but haven't built anything since IKEA betrayed them. Build it, stare at it, tell your date you're into Formula One. She'll still leave. Then we move to ancient history. The Roman Colosseum, 1,756 pieces of déjà vu from your crumbling attention span. $59 to relive Rome's greatest fall. Your patience. Every layer you add reminds you that gladiators had it easier. Real use? It's a history lesson. Ridiculous use. A metaphor for your love life. Beautiful ruins and endless echo. Now the Star Wars TIE Interceptor UCS, 1,931 pieces, $229. It's like buying a spaceship to compensate for your emotional damage. Sure, it's symmetrical, but you won't be when you realize Step 302 was upside down. This is the set that separates men from boys and boys from sleep. Build it to display it proudly. Then realize you've spent rent money recreating a ship that exists purely to explode. Feeling whimsical? Try the Snow White Cottage, a sweet 2,200-piece reminder that you'll never own real property. $219 for fairy tale housing. Cheaper than Zillow, more realistic than your mortgage. You'll spend hours installing tiny windows and still forget the roof, much like your actual life plans. Now comes tragedy at sea, the Sluban Titanic, 2,401 pieces for $60. Cheaper than therapy, more destructive than your last relationship. Halfway through, you'll hit that iceberg of regret. Practical use? Patience training. Ridiculous use. Reenact My Heart Will Go On until your neighbors call the cops. For those who think they're mechanically gifted, the Nifeliz 5.8 engine, 2,700 pieces, $89. Congratulations, you just bought yourself a fake engine that actually runs better than your motivation. By the time it moves, you'll be convinced you can fix a car, but you can't even fix your sleep schedule. Prefer castles and delusion. The Beauty and the Beast castle, 2,900 pieces of architectural Stockholm syndrome for $219. You'll build it because you want the fairy tale, but let's be honest. You're both Beauty and the Beast, and the only thing magical here is how fast your wallet disappears. Then comes pain on 4 wheels. The LEGO Technic Bugatti Chiron, 3,599 pieces, $349, and not a single horsepower. You'll spend 14 hours on the gearbox alone, only to realize you misaligned step 312. Congratulations, You've built an $80,000 car at 1/4 scale and none of the dignity. Show it off, pretend it's motivational, then realize you can't even parallel park it on your shelf. Feeling festive? Try Home Alone, nearly 4,000 pieces and $299 of nostalgia therapy. Every trap, every tile, every reminder that you peaked in '95. You'll proudly tell people it's for the holidays, but deep down it's just your emotional support mansion for childhood neglect. And when you've lost your sanity, sail away on the Riobrix Black Pearl, 4,304 pieces, $109. This ship is legendary, mostly for destroying your social life. Build it right, it's majestic. Build it wrong, it's modern art. Real use, shelf trophy. Ridiculous use, command your dog to walk the plank. Need magic again? Hop aboard the Hogwarts Express, 5,129 pieces, half a grand, and all aboard the Hogwarts debt train. You'll swear it's for the collection, but everyone knows you just needed to justify your Harry Potter phase to adulthood. Real use, display ridiculous, ride it to avoid reality. From magic to mayhem, the Avengers Tower, 5,201 pieces of skyscraper-sized ego for another $499. 31 minifigs, zero chance of finishing before burnout. You'll claim it's investment decor while ignoring your electricity bill. Practical use, conversation starter. Ridiculous use, filing taxes in floor 5 with Tony Stark. If you want pain elevated, the Star Wars AT-AT UCS, 6,785 pieces and $849 of pure trauma. Each leg is a different mistake you'll regret assembling. By the time you finish, you'll be crawling like it. You're basically paying to recreate your burnout in plastic form. Poetic, really. And just when you think you've achieved enlightenment, along comes the Leaning Tower of Pisa by Riobrix, 7,652 pieces, $139. The hardest part? Making it lean just enough without collapsing like your mental health. It's a vertical insult to physics and your self-esteem. Practical use, architectural admiration. Ridiculous use. Tell guests it's your savings plan, slowly tilting towards zero. And there it is, 15 ways to measure intelligence through pain. 15 sets designed to humble you, drain you, and remind you that LEGO doesn't stand for let's enjoy getting over it. If you made it this far without rage quitting the video, congratulations, you're either a genius or unemployed. Either way, hit the like button before you go back to pretending you could build one of these. Because this is FomoMart, where if you don't own it, you're obviously not trying hard enough to fill that void in your life. See you next build, genius.